Hello and welcome. It's Rowan, and it is time for Tuesday Tarot. And if you are new, we do one card readings, but we are actually starting for the next 78 weeks. We're going to be going over the different tarot cards. So kind of a little preview. Sorry, I'm like dropping cards all over the place today, it looks like. So a little preview of the different tarot cards, and they're just enough that you can learn a little bit about tarot. So if you're new to tarot, this will be a really fun. So for 78 weeks, which will be about a year and a half, we'll be going over this. So Bren is my partner here when we're tarot buddies. So he will be going live. He'll be jumping up pretty soon. And after we go over the full card this week, we'll do one card readings. So if you stay the whole time or if you come back, we'll be doing one card readings. And I was like so late that I'm going to like actually pull out some full cards from a couple of decks. So I didn't realize like how late it was, and it's garbage day at my house tomorrow. So we were trying to get the garbage down. So, and the recycling, I'm like Miss Recycle. So, you know, and I thought I had plenty of time, but didn't. And there was, you know, getting sidetracked by taking stuff to the curb, as sometimes our mundane lives do interfere with the fun part, with like going live. So, oh, and that one I already have this deck out. So, please don't forget to give me some hearts, because the more hearts we get, the higher up we'll go, and the higher up, the more likes. And I'd love to go live doing tarot readings on Tuesdays for many hours instead of, you know, calling it a night early. So don't forget to give me hearts. And if you are here for a tarot reading, we will be doing those. I mean, I will do one before Bren gets here if we need to, because I want to kind of wait for him so that we can do the full together. And I'll give him a little bit, because I know he's in a different time zone. So, you know, all these different time zones make it hard. But it is really fun to be able to, you know, meet people around the world. So, yes, so tonight we will be doing one card readings. And when we do one card readings, it's possible that we may be drawn to do an oracle deck. So we'll pull from oracle or tarot, depending upon your question or what is pulling to us. So, and I will do a reading while I wait for Bren, if you would like a reading. And greetings to you too. Thank you, honey, for the hearts. I love that. I love all the hearts. The hearts help tremendously so that I can get up there and people will know that I'm here. So I'd love to get out of the D League and get up to the C League at some point. So, so thank you to anyone who jumps on and hearts the live. It is really appreciated. But in the meantime, I am pulling out the full cards, because I did want to be able to show a couple different full cards. So I know a couple people just joined. So as a repeat, Bren and I are going to be doing 78 weeks of tarot. So every week will be a different card. This week is the full. So this is the first week. Next week will be the Magician. And then after we go over that, and we're not going to give a lot. We're going to give a little bit. Just because it is Tuesday Tarot. So we do pull tarot readings. So no fear if you came here for a reading. And if you do want a reading before we start talking, I have no issues. Please feel free to type general or your question in the chat if you would like your reading before. And I'm just looking for full cards because I didn't pull them out. There we go. Because I wanted to have a couple to show, because they are really neat when we see different ways the Fool can manifest for us. So past life readings. I'm still studying past lives. I've done meditations and stuff on it. I'm trying to think who. The person I did, I don't think she goes live anywhere. I'll reach out to her and see if she's on TikTok and does live readings. And if so, I'll connect you guys up. Because she did used to be in the Chicagoland area, but she is not now. So, but it doesn't mean I can't reach out to her. So I have ways to do that. So, and I don't know if she goes live, but she actually helped me find one of my past lives when she was teaching a workshop on past lives. So that's always really cool. But yeah, there's like lots of different, mine, like she did like a group, she was teaching a class and then did a group meditation. There is, so just on past lives, and I'll show it while we wait for Bren. I wear them all the time. So this is sarsen stone and this is Preseli bluestone. So sarsen stone makes up the outer circle of Stonehenge and Preseli bluestone makes up the inner circle of Stonehenge. They both, if you work with them in connection, you can access your past lives. So let's see, my first past life I did with my friend. My second one I actually did with a meditation where I set up, not the ones I'm wearing, but I set up, kind of put myself, and thank you so much. I totally appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you, Candace. Sarsen stone. Here, I'll type it in. Then that way, if anybody else wants it to, maybe. Okay, I should be able to type here. I'll do it here. So it's sarsen stone and it's Preseli bluestone. So when I accessed another past life, so I know of two of them, and I haven't done it again. I've been meaning to. I took my Tibetan clear quartz, because Tibetan clear quartz is a little bit stronger than clear quartz. Not that clear quartz isn't strong, because it's strong. And I did a Tibetan clear quartz in between a Preseli bluestone and in between a sarsen stone. And so I was able to access past lives. But Bren, we had a question. I know you're just barely coming up.
What's the question?
The question is, do you do past life readings? So I don't.
Yes, I do.
There we go. There we go. Candace was asking. So Candace, if you want Bren to do one before we start the Fool, if you're comfortable with that, or if not, just reach out to Bren and he'll help you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, snap.
Yes, she's saying yes. So, all right, we'll let Bren take a moment to do a sacred, and I can pull more Fool cards, and then we can do our discussion after.
Alrighty, so there are many techniques to do past, like looking at the past life. So what I need, and I'll share some techniques after I get done with her. So what I need, Candace, is your birth date, birth time, and birthplace. If you don't have the exact birth time, don't worry about it. Just give me the first time that comes to mind.
Oh.
Oops. Oh, duh, that's good, because the nut lock's not on. Like, it's not working. Oh, because that button's not pressed. 703. And the birthplace. Okay, okay, we're gonna click there.
Oh, and you're a twin.
Now here comes the big. I can see why. I can see it because you have a placement in Pisces that is heavily associated with the twins, and it is like a. Ugh, it is such that 1 degree off from actually being in that specific point of Pisces where twins are apparent. So in that case, you would have been the younger twin,
Mm.
or at least, if not the younger, you probably were. Oh, she. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Russell. I'm sorry. I just had to. I just love it when his techniques come through.
Oh, 5 minutes older.
Anyway, so now past life reading. So the way that we look at this, all that we do, one way is we look at the 12th house, and then we make that the ascendant, because now you're taking the perspective of the past behind you, and now you're making it become the physical. That's one way. Then the other way is making K2 the ascendant, and the other one's actually looking at a specific divisional chart, which I'm going to pull up, is the Dwada Damsa chart. Oh! Oh! Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love it. Well, I'll tell you this much. A past life, you easily... You were a figure that was heavily respected by an authoritative figure. You were like, the best putting, you were like a king's advisor. And, best of all, you were also seen as a strategist. You had a really potent sense of being able to strategize. And we're going to take a look at the specific... Specifically, it would be in being able to strategize how to extract something. Like to go reach into something like you can even say surgery, mining, or even also suggesting people on how to grow crops. But when it came into matters of, oh wow, that is a trine of the Dharma triangle right there. Mars in Metricona. Saturn is exalted. We love singing exalted Saturn because he's like, oh yeah, I'm back at my youth. Now what? And also, that is majestic. You have Venus in the 4th house, the heart, in Pisces, exalted, Digbala, directional strength. I have to say, I have that same Venus placement in my marriage chart in my D9, but nonetheless. Venus in the 4th, in Pisces, with directional strength, in that past life chart, shows that you are able to bring life to your homeland. You're able to bring people to life by being able to go into their perspective and then restore them to life again. And since specifically having Mars in the 5th, that also shows you are also somebody who is very hyperprotective of younger brothers, children, especially male children. And we're not afraid to go and defend those children that were very vulnerable and neglected. Very protective. Good Lord. And also an elder sibling could have also been a figure that may have been whom you looked up to for any kind of relationship advice. But the main theme that you had in that life was this reoccurring thought of how can I best take this divine fluidity, because Purva Shada is associated with the ocean and up top, but specifically that life's path's mission, which was Taurus Rohini, that would be right over there. Your main goal in that past life, your destiny in the last life, was to be this figure that is able to provide comfort and luxury to those who could not afford it. So easily an advisor, a supportive, an inspiration to the homeland. So you could even see somebody being like, let's see, the one that advises a high up official into ensuring that the homeland and the people are given their care and giving the support that they needed, and also prioritizing the health and well-being of the group of people. And that's just looking from the D12. But then when we take a look at from the D9 perspective, from the D1, making the 12th house the ascendant, that would make it be, I gotta flip it down all the way back to the D1. Okay, 23 degrees, so that would be 23 degrees right across the board. Aquarius, that would be, okay, that would be that. So, the recurring theme of this past life is how to take something to transition from one side to another. And also, past life, you had the ability to influence the weather to a strong degree. And the way that you were able to then best learn with this ability, and anything that was like tangible learning, it always came from somebody younger than you. The younger the person was, the more you learned from them. And despite, now here's the thing, the beautiful thing is, how your placement is, despite you having a Venus in Virgo where she's like, oh God, why do I gotta be in Virgo? Her being in Pisces in the Dwadamsa chart, the way that chart behaves, it says, if you have an exalted planet or a debilitated planet, it does not matter what other divisional chart you look at, it is considered exalted in all of them. So your debilitated Venus is acting like she is exalted. And that's by default. So Venus for you, by default, is an exalted planet, regardless of her placement. The same goes with Saturn. Saturn's in Libra. Despite him being retrograde, he's in Libra. So he's exalted. And Mars, he's Motrikona. Despite him being now in his fall in Libra, he's acting like he's in his own sign in all of the divisional charts. Same with Jupiter. Jupiter's in Sagittarius. So he's comfy. So all these three planets, they're comfortable. All these planets, they're happy. So now when we take a look at where Ketu's at, now we have Ketu in pretty much the same, actually that is the exact same degree of your Dwadamsa chart, meaning that your past life, you have an easier time connecting to it. Specifically, whenever you do anything pertaining to, like, say, purifying things, you'll be able to connect to your past life much more easier. Way more easier. And especially if you have anything that's like a fan, a holding fan, if you were to do any kind of kata with your fan, like a specific set of moves against an invisible opponent, you'll be able to recall a lot of things. Let's see. I have a fan around here somewhere so that we can have a general idea. I just hit my patella. I know. Patella is the kneecap in case you didn't take anything in the medical field. Where's my fan? Where's my biggest fan? Oh, there it is. I'll just use this one. Get up there. Okay, so when I say martial arts kata, you just play Tetris with everything around me. So martial arts kata. Leo, a little more to the left. Not that close. Okay, there we go. So martial arts kata is simply, oh gosh, oh Lord, it would make Lanta. You can't even see him because it looks all fuzzy McDuzzy. So let me just do that. What the heck, man? You had one job. Okay, that'll do. Kind of. Like half a cup. Okay, so martial arts kata. That's it looks like I'm under the foggy sea with everybody. Martial arts kata, simply put, that's it. I can't handle it. My brain's like, fix it. Fix the ink. There we go. Now I don't look. Okay, here we go. So martial arts kata. It's something as simple as when you're doing the traditional movements with a fan, like if you're doing, like again, martial arts kata, what you're doing is you're activating Sagittarius and Venus, because Venus owns it. And through this traditional means of performance, as Venus, as traditional Sagittarius, you're activating the past lives to come back to you. And also, doing anything pertaining to the geishas from Japan. Like if you were just have a geisha figure in your home, or a geisha artwork, that'll help you recall past lives. So there you go, Candace.
Thank you so much, Bren. So anybody watching, if you want a full reading, please reach out to Bren. You can find him on TikTok. Make sure you're following him. So, and actually, you know what, Bren? I ordered my book. I don't know if I told you. My next book is coming.
Oh,
so that's exciting.
yeah, but I mean, I also have my other ones on there too.
Yeah, I saw because I was like, oh, how many can I get? And I was like, I'll get next for now.
Yeah, we'll need that for like a Wiki book club. Like how many based on the line?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then I read separate books in between too, so it's like.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a short little.
Yeah. So very, very exciting. So thank you everybody for joining. Thank you so much for the hearts. We're at 2.3K hearts. So that's really awesome. And thank you for the gifts. Always appreciated, never expected. We do appreciate that. But tonight is the beginning of our 78 weeks of tarot. And we're just going to touch on the full and show some full cards. So, we're really, and then after that, we are going to do 1-card readings. So please stick around for a reading if you would like a reading. But we're going to start with the full. So, and depending on the decks, and I didn't pull some of the decks I was thinking of, I didn't grab. But so the full card is associated with the element of air and our crown chakra. It's planet that it's associated with Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
And numerology, it is 0. And that is infant possibilities. So I just kind of wanted to cover a little bit of that. Now, this doesn't officially have a sign, but it can be associated with Aquarius. This is not the Aquarius card. So I just want to make that really, really clear. It's more associated with Uranus. So, Brent, anything you want to say before we start? Like, we'll just kind of show off.
Oh boy. Do I have a treat for you if I can just figure out where the bloody heck the fool is in this deck?
Well, then I'm going to show. So this is the Visconti Tarot. So the Marsal's Tarot is pretty much based off this, and then the Rider-Waite is based off of it. So I want you guys to see one of the most early full cards that was done. And this, unfortunately, the shine is like... But yeah, so but that is one. So I'll just show cards until Bren's ready, and then all right, this one comes.
I'm looking through them. I might as well also just talk at the same time.
Oh yeah, you can talk. We can.
Oh, there we go. Finally, I found it. But so the Fool. Now, the Fool is, of course, in general is the Joker in a regular playing card deck. Now, with that in mind. That kind of also shows that the Joker, if you're actually reading with the deck of cards, that shows that the Fool is the only major Arcana card that is in a deck of playing cards. And also with the Fool, depending on the deck, the Fool can even come after the Judgment card in some decks. And there's also some decks that make essentially the Fool be the World as the last card. But again, that's the beauty with tarot. It can be depicted in so many fabulous and different ways that it's whoa. So I'm gonna grab my Lilith deck. Where were the?
Yes, we can have lots of different interpretations. So I showed the Visconti full, and then here's the Rider-Waite full card. So everybody's probably familiar with that one. Like when I teach tarot, I base it off the Rider-Waite, but once you learn Rider-Waite, you can really learn any tarot deck. It's very easy. Well, as long as you're, I'm going to say depending upon like how you learn, because I know I've had people come to me that didn't understand the symbolism and intuition. So, which actually I didn't at first, because it doesn't tell you in the little white books that come with the tarot decks. So,
and me personally, at least how I made myself learn is just essentially just look at the card, just go mech with the guidebook for a little bit, just sit with it and look at the artwork, and then just find 2 things you see, 2 things you feel, and then just go through the deck over and over and over again until you get comfortable with it.
Yeah. Well, When I was in college, we had, well, the university, we were so busy. It was just kind of a fun thing to do. It wasn't like really, really learn and do it. But yes, as you get old, when you have time, there's so much to learn. So I'm going to just show another full card. So this one comes from the Witch's Tarot.
Yeah, I have that tarot.
I love it. I have it in the small and I have it in the regular size.
Yeah, I only have it in the big regular size.
This is Tarot of the Traditions. So this is really based off Rider-Waite, but they've tried to make it really 3D. And I love, 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 love this deck. So you can see, I mean, it really is almost exactly, just a little bit more vibrant.
And now, because usually with the full, yes, the associated, well, technically, since the full is the infinite possibilities, is the soul, literally, because the soul is the only thing that has limited possibilities. Technically, you could even also say that the full is not only just a Uranus card, but is also a Sun card and a Mercurian card as well. Because Mercury is the one that's the least likely to get offended. The one that's like, oh, okay, yeah, I believe you, but he's going off the wrong way. Naive. And also the Fool, not only does he have infinite possibilities and he's limitless, he's also the most sensitive, despite having the most potential. He is so vast, yet he can be woozy-wooed and pulled in a direction. And to some points, he's also gullible. So sometimes dim-witted. Or
yeah, he's the beginning. It's naivety. It's that. It's literally the beginning of the tarot deck. And there's a lot more to it. I'm not going to give away the Fool's journey. I do teach that in a class, but it is a journey. It is the beginning, like our life has a beginning, and so does the Fool card.
Yep. And probably another thing I'm also going to throw in here because I just love throwing gems all over the place. Yes, you can also use your lovely tarot decks in your magical practice.
Yes, you can.
You're probably wondering, so how am I going to use this piece of cardstock to do anything? Simple. What does the Fool represent? Infinite possibilities. Or even also, you can use the Fool as a means to be your focus point into returning back to that childlike state. Make that the focus. Make you go back and then relearn that ability to see the world as a child. And if you remember how children are when they are looking at something brand new for the first time, that's it. That's the Fool. Being so awestruck that you feel like you can literally do anything. So the Fool of all the cards is the most creative.
Yes, it is.
The most uninhibited creativity.
And you can also use it in a new beginnings too.
Yep.
So if you're starting a new journey, if you're okay, I just started a new job, that can be your new journey is the beginning of your new job. And you can use, now I don't use the card directly. I actually use my copier and copy the card. And then I use a photocopy of it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a deck that you lost a card and so you replace the deck, then you're welcome to use those that way. But yes, I usually just make a photocopy of it.
Yep. And that can even also be specifically your petition paper. You just write it on the back of the card, write it on there. And now, at least for me, what I like to do is that when you have the petition written, I like to have the petition essentially facing down, and then having the whichever card you're using being the one where the whatever you're using on top of the candle or burning something on it, that to be facing up, because that energy is the foundation, and it's going to be that energy is seeping down and going through the Fool's energy to go into this intention. Mm-hmm. That's at least what I see. Where the heck is the Fool in this one?
I know. See, that's what I was. So I'm going to show a couple other ones. So this is one of my black and white decks. This one is actually my Nightfall Tarot. You can see, I mean, it's very, very similar. I have a couple that are going to be not so similar. So, so this is my Druid tarot deck. So we're starting to get a little not so similar. You see, this is very Irish and Scottish, very Celtic. And now we're getting into not as similar because instead of a dog, we have a fox. This is the deck I read with the very most.
Oh yeah, Shadowscapes.
Yep, love this deck. And then this other one is got the Guardian Knight Tarot, and this one is completely different, but I love it because the same symbolism is here.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, this deck is amazing. So I will show each of the cards as we go through because next week will be the Magician. So and I have a couple other ones that are totally different, like their fools are completely different, but I did not grab all of them. So those are a few that I have, but we'll let Bren show a few of his. And
yes, I got quite the selection. And the funny thing is, when you are strictly an intuitive reader, like I am, each one of these fools, each one of them, despite being the same card, is expressing something completely different.
Yes.
So we'll kick it off with, let's see, which one is the most Rider-Waite-Smith like?
Yeah, I didn't even realize most of my decks that I had grabbed were really Rider-Waitey.
This is the traditional manga tarot. As you can see, we have the full figure. We don't know if it's a man or a woman. And the full is a representation of being neither masculine or feminine. So it's the third gender, hermaphrodite, or between masculine and feminine, which would then be child. Then you have the pooch down below, and of course the knapsack and the whatnot, and also the right rose. But this kind of fool is kind of in a way where it's like, oh yes, I'm moving forward, but this is kind of a fool that's giving me that vibe of like kind of being a bit smutty. Like, oh yes, I'm going forward, and you're left in the dust. So kind of a childlike, immature kind of a fool for this one at least. The next one, let's get a little exotic with it. Let's go with this one. The definitely not Haunted Mansion Tarot from Disney. No, it's just the Haunted House Tarot. This is the fool from the Haunted House Tarot. Completely different vibe. You're like, wait a minute. Where's the pooch? But the thing is, this deck, at least how the story is that the figure that's running away from the house in the water, she is the inheritor of the house. And she's running away from the house like, oh, you don't want to go in there. There's a lot of stuff going in there. But little does she know that possibly, maybe, the house that she inherited, maybe it wasn't her time to inherit it yet. And now she's running away and now not really facing the fact that, maybe I need to call somebody about this. But there's infinite potential elsewhere. She's running away from that. And her running away from it is going to make her go off the cliff. And if you notice, there's that. And then there's that. It's the same house. The next one. Let's go with the traditional Celtic tarot. We have, looks like, I'm going to say that's a halfling. Mm-hmm. And he's just walking around, going over the rainbow with a little mushroom and a flower on his head. This kind of shows how am I going to put this? The infinite potential of connecting with nature and also connecting to the full spectrum of color and connecting things on a more deeper, expressive level. Very Celtic in its energy. Next one, this is the Royo Tarot. R-O-Y-O. And this depiction shows the figure with a skull. And it's going, I'm going to put the whole deck down. Essentially we got, alas, poor Yorick, I once knew thee as he whose bone.
That's a cool card.
Yep, so now this fool, while having a companion, because it is the skull, like the dog, this figure is now becoming more focused on their companion. While in most of the other tarot decks, when it has like an accomplice or somebody attending them, they're not really paying attention and they're just going all off the cliff or about to do something dim-witted. This one is giving that focus to that other figure that is accompanying the fool. So they're actually taking a moment to pause, get counsel, and in this deck, even though her face is masked, she is trying to find that comfort and possibility with other people, especially things of the past. That's how deep you can get with all these pictures. Now the next one, I think, yeah, you know this one. The Grand Lux.
Yes.
I
I almost grabbed that deck tonight.
We have a guy that looks like a jester, a clown, and then the dog is following behind him all dippity-doo. It's kind of like one of those, it kind of reminds me of the Wizard of Oz, kind of like how he's skippity-doo-dawing. So this fool is kind of like giving that energy of like, just don't be silly, and also don't forget your jokes. Be more comical, be more whimsical with whatever you're moving forward towards with. Okay, our next one. This one comes from, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's Greek mythology based. The Epic Tarot, I believe. Now this tarot, this is also a specific figure. I cannot remember his name. But what he's doing, the figure now that's accompanying this one is actually the falcon above. The falcon's the accompanier. So he is about to go wrong lever because of his footsie. So it does have that same theme, but at the same time he's also looking high instead of looking about to go heck. So this one's more of being aware of your footing, but then also not being afraid to also look into higher places for guidance and support for that endeavor. Now let's throw another curveball in here. This is Tarot Z, or the Definitely Not Walking Dead Tarot. This one's different.
Yes, you've shown that one before, and that one is actually really cool.
Now the question is this. Who's the fool? Is it the undead? Is it Hanky over here? Is it Panky in the middle, or Spanky on the end? Or is it the giant smiley face? Like everything's just fine, everything's good. Just smile and oh shoot. So this fool can show that possibly in moments where there's a lot of Debbie Downers or a lot of things that are making you go, maybe it's this smiley face saying that just smile, just stay yourself, don't be influenced by anything around you, just smile, and just don't let anybody tear that down. The next one. We'll go with the Incubus Tarot, and this is what it looks like. This version of the Tarot has a figure, and it looks like the dog's dancing. So it's kind of like, okay, you have a guy looking like sorry, I have to say it this way, kind of looking like a Lady Gaga reject over here. Then you have a dog going skippity-doo-dah, doopity-day, and the dog's getting all into it. So in this regard, it's kind of also like saying, maybe lighten up a little bit. Maybe find that other figure that's accompanying you and giving you this perspective that you can't understand. Maybe go towards them and allow them to express themselves. You might find another pathway because you notice the figure is not he don't look like he's ready to dance any kind of, way at all, but the dog is all into it. So that comparison right there. So now, yeah, we're almost done, I promise. This one.
If we actually showed every deck of every tarot, we would be here like all night. Because I'm thinking about a bunch of my other decks that I wish I'd grabbed.
Now this fool is on top of a mountain and he's trying to catch a butterfly. But what's a butterfly? Metamorphosis. And also butterfly is the last stage of life for a caterpillar. So this is showing how you have the beginning and the end all in one image.
Yeah. That's actually really profound.
Mm-hmm. So that can even also show that all together with the Fool, it's all the same cycle. It starts and it ends, and it never has its completion, only for that one perspective. And that one's from the Pagan Waits Tarot. Our next one will be the Ludi Lescat Tarot. Now this deck's out of print. I love this deck. It's a bit dark and a little bit like, but this one has a kid, and his accomplice is a chicken. and all the rats back there. And he's being like the Piper guy, Peter Piper, with his all the pepper, and he's playing his flute.
Piper.
Yep, that guy.
Yeah.
And he's woozy-wooing the mice and the chicken. So this can even also show that maybe acknowledge the talents you got, especially if it's involved making music or art. Let it just come out and see who comes to you. Possibly might be somebody you never would even think would be woozy-wooed by it. Or even also a group of people might get woozy-wooed with your infinite potential. But as you can see, that's why I just love Tarot so much. There's so many ways you can depict it, and none of it's wrong, but it's just the same it's the same card, just being expressed differently. Now this Fool, this is from the Magical Tarot, if you know what I mean. But this Fool, now you have a butterfly again, so the last stage of that, but then you also have a blimp going to the right, and then you have a truck going right at him, and then, yep, there's the dog there, just all like, meh. So now the thing is, when I get this card, whenever it comes out, I don't like it. Because now here's the thing. You have a young man hitchhiking. He's being naive. There's infinite possibilities that can happen in that truck.
Yes, there is.
See? But this Fool can indicate that, yes, you might be on your own for all this, but make sure to not go all the way in with a choice that's being presented to you, because it might be your last stage as that butterfly. That's a poetic way of putting that. The next one, this is from the Diablo Tarot, or Definitely Not deck that is bigger than both my hands put together. Here we have that looks like Zeus, and he's getting his pink slip, and now he's leaving Olympus. Like, well, fine, I'll just go elsewhere. Whoa! But this Fool kind of looks like, the best way to put it is like, think of like, if you were reading and then if you drew this card, I like to think of it as like the old dog learning new tricks and not being set in his ways. Like, you know what, fine, I'll grow on this adventure even though I'm about to kick the bucket, fine. Woo! So, despite investment in something, a new opportunity comes in and blows the gates open for that one. Only have two left. Now, this one is from the Dark Goddess Tarot, and it is, I'm going to cover up a certain spot because, TikTok reasons.
We know how some of our tarot decks.
Sheila Nig, and I don't know much about her, so I can't really say, but yeah, I can't really say much about Sheila Nig because I got nothing. I haven't studied where she's from or read that book yet. And the last tarot is from my own deck, the Seduction of Shadows Tarot, and this is the Fool, also known as the Vesta.
Yeah, I like that one.
As you notice, there's the woman figure down at the bottom, looking up to all the potential and possibility. Then you have the eye right there, looking right down at her, which is also another 0. So yeah. So that's all. Those are some examples of fools.
Mm-hmm. That's like our little presentation about the Fool. Next week we'll be doing the Magician. Mm-hmm. And both Brian and I do teach tarot classes, so please feel free to reach out to us if you'd like to take class from us.
And if you happen to have a tarot deck that you're kind of feeling like, with, if you want to have like somebody kind of walk with you through the deck in a format that kind of helps you go through like, okay, how does that card make you feel? Well, if it's the kicking the bucket card, it kind of makes me feel like impending doom, but also relief. And I'm also seeing a figure that's being like cloaked in dark. And then there's also another figure that's trying to just break free from it and not get entangled in it. So that kind of shows that alternative way of learning it. 2 things you see, 2 things you feel. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, it's not always about the keywords, especially like when, most decks come. I'm just trying to find if I have a book handy. Is that awful? Sometimes I've thrown them away. One of my tarot teachers actually had everybody throw their book away. So they call them the white books. And, like the white books, I'll just kind of show a page. I mean, it literally just tells you what it means upright and what it means in reverse. And,
It's lazy, but that's just me.
you know, it's a lot to memorize, but then it's like when we look at the full card, it's new beginning, it's a change, it's a journey, it's naivety, you know, like, and the list goes on and on and on. And then it's like, well, which one do I pick for a reading? This is why you need to understand the symbolism and the intuition. Most readers usually do read intuitively. Yeah. I mean, I did see somebody actually, because there are decks that will actually have like, they'll have the Rider Waite, so similar to this one, and it will literally give you the definitions on the card. And I did see somebody on TikTok who was reading from those, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, those are really are intended to be used for like they're like your training wheels.
Yeah, they're because like my deck looks brand new because I bought it for, it was recommended by one of my teachers to help us learn, and I barely used it. Like barely used it because I'm like, why do I still have this deck? Because it's one that I really don't need. Yeah, so, and you know, I mean, I guess if that person wants to read with it, they can. But
You can do it as what I will, but whatever happens, you're at fault for it. That's all.
yep, exactly. So, you know, most readers usually read intuitively. So, I teach so that you understand the keywords, you understand the symbolism and the intuition, and I teach you how to connect the intuition because that's what you kind of need to know. And I can, Bren probably teaches pretty close to the same I do. So,
And I also, one of the things I also love to do is to take like cards of the tarot that are deemed like stereotypically bad. I like to go, okay, well, you got to find the positive in them. Like best example, probably the best example in this, you probably might be thinking, how the heck can that ever be positive? Oh, speaking of that, it's the next card, the Three of Swords. How in the heck can that be positive? Well, this depiction of the Three of Swords, yes, it does have the swords going through the heart, and there is some fluid coming out. But at the end of the day, this Three of Swords, despite the pain of the heart, there is still the flowing of emotions below. So the heart's harmed, and it is losing some life. So the emotional standing is in pain and is losing its life. But the figure, whoever this is being read for, they still have that emotional intelligence. See?
yep. There's always, I always try, like, yeah, life does not always, it's not always bright. You know, we are going to get thrown challenges in life. And tarot will tell us you have a challenge and an obstacle coming up, or you're in the middle of a challenge and an obstacle right now. But even like, I know, actually the year my mother passed away, the month she passed away, I got the Tower card. So I pull a card for every month of the year. And then I'm like, okay, I'll see what happens. You know, I kind of write my prediction, and that I was like, something big's happening this month. That's literally all I put was something big's happening. And, you know, it is a change. And that's what the Tower card is it is a change. And you can take the change and go, oh my gosh, this is going to be really scary. Or you can take the change and say, I can conquer this. So it's all in your perception, like how you want to view it. So,
And the fact, because the card I just pulled randomly from the Pagan Race Tarot came out as the Strength card. Now this Strength, I like the Strength card.
oh, that's a cool strength card.
Because it does, and I believe this is the Emu tribe, but in this depiction you have three animals. You have the wolf, the lion, and then the polar bear. And then the moon, and then the person. So this shows a trinity. A trinity of canine, which again is loyalty. A feline, which is the king, so self-worth. But then also the polar bear. Now the polar bear, symbolically, that is a representation of also being able to not only adapt, but it's also, the polar bear, believe it or not, is somewhat of a solitary animal. It likes to just be on its own. And it's able to, okay, calm down, brain, slow down. The polar bear is also the only, it's the bear that is able to be emotionally fixed and intelligent because it's the one that's closest to water. And frozen water is, well, fixed water. So the polar bear can be that lone figure that wants to provide a lot of love and care and devoted love to something. So those three specific types of those mammals are now being ritually invoked by the girl. And that's the strength.
Yeah. It's like invoking the triple goddess, the maiden, mother, and crone. Maiden, mother, crone. All of a sudden I thought I said it wrong. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like crone, maiden, mother.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that because you have the wolf at the bottom, then you have the lion, and then you have the polar bear.
Polar bear, yeah. Because let's face it, I mean, women are very strong, and they will bite. We will bite.
Better yet,
we defend our pups or our cubs.
They have the friendship, the quote unquote girl code. If you know the girl code, you know. We are the king's backbone because there's the king. Without the queen, the king don't got a backbone, so he got nothing. Then the polar bear, which is the crone, the elder, that's just content in isolation by herself and is able to know her truth after going through life.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you. We got a lot of hearts. We're at 3.6K. So thank you so much. And thank you for the gifts. Always appreciated, never expected. And now we'll do one card pulls. So
get a mother, hot or cold or whichever.
Yeah. All of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Oh, there's my Lenormand. Because I usually always have my Lenormand handy, but I'm like, wait, now I have decks all over. So if you would like a reading, you can type general or the question you have, and Bren and I will pull a card for you. So you get one card from each of us. Occasionally we'll pull clarifiers, and depending on your question, we'll pull either tarot or Lenormand, whatever we're inspired. I also have my Nova cards, so I love that. They're great for yes and no questions. So if I happen to unfortunately miss your question, please feel free to just say, hey, look at me. General, you're welcome, Rain. We will pull a general. Ooh. Yep, I'm supposed to pull this deck.
Okay, let's see.
Actually, I'm not. I'm supposed to do this deck.
I'm being told just to use mainly just the dark goddesses and the pagan place. So I'm going to nod my head and go with a time to break the new decks in. So which one? Okay. So what is it for? For
a general for Rain.
Okay, let's see what comes out. And now here comes. This is going to be interesting because this being a tarot with our goddesses. I'm probably going to be just reading strictly on intuition, and we'll just see how it all plays out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Archangel will get you right after we get Rain, so just hang tight. We don't miss anybody. I know sometimes people don't want to wait for a reading to get done, but yeah, just patient. Okay, Rain. Ooh, we got the Knight of Wands. And I'm really feeling with this that you're going on like a very passionate journey. And when I use the word journey, I'm meaning like working on something. You're evolving. So you're spiritually evolving, or you're artistically. I'm really feeling it's more artistic though, which is also a very spiritual thing to be able to. But I'm really feeling like you've got like this artistic passion that's really coming out, and you're in the middle of something amazing. And I can tell that it really needs to go to this next card. I really am feeling like this pull. And yes. There we go. Ooh.
And this is my main matron goddess coming in through. Now, of course, it's the Two of Earth. This would be like the Two of Pentacles, but I'm not going to read it with like that being unstable, like choosing a route. Instead, what I'm getting is this. That passion that you have for something, make it as if it's your last bit of life on this earth. Pursue it like it's your last possible thing on earth, because this is your only chance to get it. Go after it. Chase it down like if it's the last thing you can do for the next 24 hours. Get it.
Yeah. Don't let anything hold you back.
And that is exactly how hell would even respond to it. In fact, any of the death deities, bucket kicking deities,
Oh, yes. Oops.
any deities that are over that, they are heavy on living every moment you can through life. Mm-hmm. Once you live life that way, you won't have regret. And the biggest thing that brings people back into this is regret. Because once you regret, and if it's too late, you can't go back to it. So get off the keister, meester, and go get it.
It's a very beautiful rain. Enjoy and embrace. All right. Archangel, you're next. Thank you for being patient. And we are doing one card reading, so please feel free if you have a question that you would like us to answer to put it in the chat, or you can just type general and we will pull a card for you. We're doing one right now for Archangel.
I don't know why the heck they wanted me to do that, but I'm going to roll with it. Fine, go ahead.
Right? They're like, just do it. I think you're supposed to go first, Bryn.
Well, very interesting way to kick it off. Hecate.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. I'm going to let you just do your part, and then I'm going to...
So Hecate is the Two of Fire, or Two of Wands in this. Now, Hecate is known as the Torchbearer, but she's also the one that leads those whom are going to the underworld. She's the guider, she's the protector, she's the one that leads the way for them. So she's the one that leads the past on, to hell. Funny enough. Best put it that way. So this is also showing taking your torches and using both avenues that you've invested in to be this light bearer and making sure that the way is brightly lit for other people. So this is easily an indication of using what you know as a guiding force for other people to use to help them get to where they need to go. And if you also notice, Hecate is facing one way, but she's walking the other direction, if you noticed. That goes to show you that even though you're looking one way, you're still progressing. So if something doesn't feel like you're making progress, you are making progress. Just remember to be that torch figure to help guide people.
Your second card was the Three of Cups in reverse. That's why I was like, whoa, because you're like, Hecate, yes. We're both like, yes. So I'm really feeling just like you're just letting this out. You're growing so much, and it's that torch. And yes, you've got the 3 3 3s. So yeah, this is actually pretty amazing. So Hecate is guiding you, and you've got this little celebration going on. It's a little bit because again, it's really a connection to your spiritual growth and to the spirit realm. Because it is reversed, so it's like that connection, and that connection is right there. It's that growth that you have that's coming out. So embrace that growth and just do it. It's there. You've got all the guidance and all the love that you need to get you to where you're supposed to be. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're welcome. And thank you, everybody, for all the hearts. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. It does bump us up in a league. So We are doing one card readings. I know we have a couple people who joined. So if you would like a reading, please feel free. Oh, thank you so much, Archangel. Thank you. Thank you. Bren, we're amazing.
I know, that's just the filter.
Right. Yeah. So yes, if you would like a reading, you can type general or you can type a specific question and we will pull cards for you. We have oracle cards here. We have Lenormand cards. I've got my Nova cards. I love my Nova cards. So yes, we will pull readings for whoever needs a reading tonight. And we will stay on as long as we got questions. Oh, also the cards are amazing. Yeah. We have some really amazing cards. And I do like, and the people the creators of the cards, they put their hearts and souls into it. And it helps all of us be able to do wonderful readings for people too. Yeah, and there's lots of amazing, amazing artists out there that have done some amazing decks.
That's funny because Mott just flew out of the deck.
Ooh, wow. I love Mott.
Yeah, that flew out of the deck. So, yep, it's that balance. Appreciate. And, yeah, just keep that balance there. I wonder what's going to fly off. Oh.
Yes.
I'll take hot, take came out again.
It's funny how, like, when we pull cards, how, like, themes come out, too. And it usually, like, has connections with everything. We're all connected to something. We are universally connected. It's not 6 degrees of separation. It's universal connection. It's higher than 6 degrees of separation.
Yep. Well, now we have the 7 of Wands. There's Durga from Vedic. Ma Durga.
So if you are watching and you want a one card pull, you get a card from me and a card from Bren, and we will read them for you. So please feel free. You can type general or you can type your specific question there in the chat. And for those that came a little bit later, for the next 78 weeks, we will be doing a card a week. So next week we'll be doing the Magician. This is our first week we did the full card. If you missed it, you are very welcome to go to, if you're not following me, go to my bio, and there is a bio link there that will take you to my website. It will also take you to Patreon and YouTube. And all my lives are actually on YouTube and Patreon, so you can watch the you can watch the replay. It's not live anymore, but you can watch the replay. So feel free to watch the replay. And those that were here when Bren was showing his deck, that beautiful deck, you can get that if you are following Bren. Go to his bio. And you can purchase, he's got some great books and some decks there. So please feel free. So, Archangel, do you have another question for us? It says you want to know something. Or are you?
What we got?
Rain. I know I've seen Rain and Archangel chatting, so I'm not sure if they're chatting together. So. Oh, I think they're just chatting. Oh, good. Oh, yes. Yes, just chatting.
Yes for a question or no or yes for chatting?
I think Bren has a card for you, so he's just going to tell you what it is. That's how we flow.
Well, what came out? Oh, wow. These two go together, the top of the deck and the bottom of the deck. One side you have, both of these are children of Nyx. You have the Arenri sisters, and the Arenri, which is a furry. But then you also have Eris, the goddess of discord, and oh god! But anyway. So, both of these are figures that are, well, ladies that excel in causing destruction. But this destruction, you have one that is righteous action for punishment, retribution, and sending off something to punish somebody for causing a grave harm. Then you just have it on the other side, which is just like a heck, all about just like causing discord just to cause it. Now, what I'm getting from that is that make sure that any type of aggression that you put out, because this is the 10 of air and the 5 of fire, make sure that you have that aggression that is focused on one goal and goal in mind only. Only target that. Do not allow yourself to get possessed by it and go over the top with it. Swing only what needs to be swung at, and retributive, once it's swung at and done, drop it. Don't go table flip over the top on it.
I saw somebody say something about love. What is the love question? We're good. We can answer anything.
What is love? Oh god, no, it's not stuck in my head.
Oh no! What? There was that movie.
What is love?
Oh, it's Pretty in Pink, right? Where he's like, "Love. What is love?" Is that?
Oh well, yeah.
Yes, I think it's like Ducky.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to rewatch that movie. The good old movies. John Hughes films, man. All right, it is Tuesday Tarot. We are doing one card pulls. See, now we got everybody singing that. So we usually will give earworms here, so all good. And those that don't know what an earworm is, it's when you get a song stuck in your head. And they don't want to go out. The worst is when it's a song you just don't want stuck in your head. Read for me about love. Okay. I'm going to switch decks here. Yep. Pulling you a love one. What is the love message for Archangel?
I don't know why all of them do that, but I'm in well with it.
Oh, wow. The 8 of Pentacles. You know, you've been burned in the past. You see that spider there? You were caught in a web and that web was hurtful, and so you're recovering from it. I'm gonna pull a second card. Oh wait, Bren's got the card. Okay, Bren's got the card.
Ace of Air, Nemesis, and I mean, look at it. If you lift your card up, she's pointing right at it.
Right at it. Yep.
She's like, look.
Mm-hmm.
And Nemesis of the Greek pantheon, in fact, pretty much of all the deities, Nemesis is by far the closest to true neutral you'll ever get.
Yeah.
But she's all about like, okay, everybody's on the fair plane. Everything's back to neutral.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do favoritism. She's like, okay, balance. What's just? What happened? If somebody did something wrong to someone, they had to pay the punishment. But it was a minor inconvenience. Doesn't matter. They get whacked. She's that neutral. And
so with this, like, yeah, like that literally says everything. Because when I pulled this, I was really with the web. You had been caught in a web of lies and deceit, and the goddess is telling you, no, there's balance.
Yeah, but she's pointing right at it with the blade drawn, like this.
Yep. It's like, open your eyes.
Yoo-hoo, catch it. Here's a blade. Now cut it. Or snip it.
Oh, don't let the Black Widow eat you. And I say that because, well, actually, a lot of female spiders usually eat their mate. Like, after they mate, they usually, and Black Widows do it, they literally eat their mate. And then when their babies are born, they let the babies eat them. So it's kind of a really weird cycle, but that was what was really coming, because spiders also are representative of other things. But like, we were talking about love, and yeah, like.
Yep, nothing's more powerful than a mother's love for her children, especially when she gives her own life for them. Yes.
But when we're looking the other aspect, when it comes up in a love, that can be that deceit that comes from the spider and the web of lies. And you can get caught. You can get caught in those webs. So, and welcome, Azriel.
Hi,
You're so busy. We're
I'm
so
late.
glad to see
I've
you.
been working and working and working. I'm listening in. I'm listening in right now. It's a pleasure to see you guys. Hi, Bren. Hi,
Hello,
Rowan.
Azrael.
Hello.
Yes, 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 yes.
Hmm, I'm
And
curious.
I saw that you commented that you were by the cemetery today.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had a stop by there in Maywood earlier.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
yeah. So I was down Roosevelt Road, passed by there. I was like, oh darn it! And you know what? I'm not sure if you were there before I was, but I was there. Ooh, maybe when I seen the post about an hour prior, you
I
posting that.
actually did that from the weekend.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah, I try to go on the weekends because I don't have time during the weekday unless I take the day off.
I hear you. And but they always close. They always close the same time, right? No matter what
Yeah,
days.
all the cemeteries in Cook County close at 4 p.m. So, and thank you everybody for the gifts. Always appreciated, never expected. We all love them. So thank you so much, and thank you for the hearts. We're almost at 5K hearts. Let's see if we can get there.
Well,
Yeah.
I
So
don't want to. I don't want to disrupt your flow. You guys are on
no,
something there, and I'm
no, you're
enjoying
good.
it.
We didn't have a question, and we know sometimes you can add some of that intuition that we love getting added. So, um,
Um, you know what? Possibly on the next pool of cards. You know, um, I do have a question. Yes, I do. Um, oh, hold on a second.
I'm like, which deck
You
am
know,
I
you know,
supposed to?
as you guys wait, well, as you guys knows, a lot of stuff is going on. Especially over there. Do do my intentions, like my intentions, do they play a factor in peace? You know, because I am praying and so does my intentions really make a difference? If that's a question there.
Okay, let's see. Ooh. And what's it? Oh my gosh, look at what we're getting. Okay, so the cell is upside down. So you're doing what you're supposed to. And what I think is really cool, I'm going to let Bren go with this, but I already, like, you're connected. You're doing what you're supposed to. But go ahead, Bren.
Santisma is the 13th card in this Dark Goddess Tarot. Now, with Santisma, she is just like with other death deities. She's one whom unconditionally accepts. But with her specifically, just like with the three robes, or like the three versions of it, there's the first one, the second one, then the third one. With this, I'm getting whatever has to end or whatever has fallen, do not forget it. Do not let it become forgotten. Because of that, that's how you're able to get to where you need to be going. Because of that, you're at where you're at now. And to also be sure to also remember everything that has gotten you to this point. And even reflecting on those that have passed, that helps you come to realize something much more deeper than you ever could realize.
That makes sense. And I appreciate it because that factor makes it really really important for me to journal everything. Because it right now, yes, it's all about journaling here. And just like I asked the question, and the reason, and maybe I need to journal. Not maybe, I have to journal what is happening, what I'm doing as far as my behalf of this. Because our words right now, all of us here, Rowan, you, Brand, myself, and everybody in the chats. This is we're creating a future for the future after us. The young ones after us, and our history actually being written this very moment as we stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. What I really loved about the card that Bren pulled is how it's associated with your ancestral culture.
It is. It is.
That's what I love about that, Azrael.
And I even tried my best to recall like the three, you
Yes,
know.
I agree.
Always, always amazing.
And Dias Los Muertos is my favorite holiday. It is. More than Christmas, more
Always
than
have
any
that
single
fun.
one of them.
That's what, well, the cemetery that Azrael and I like to go to, probably like for me the most. Um, what is really neat is around Samhain and um, Day of the Muerta. Um, it is so neat because you've got multiple cultural holidays, and it is really beautiful to see all of the different cultures coming out and how they celebrate because they leave beautiful gifts for their loved ones. So it's like, honestly, if you want to have fun, go to a cemetery around right before October 31st and go for a couple days because it is really, especially if you're in a culturally diverse area. So like we're really lucky, like in Chicago, it's culturally diverse, and Bren, where you're at, you've got a lot of cultural diversity too. So
But mainly, the only real diverse that I have is the American Native tribe over on the reservation. But even then, it's just like I have to ask my friend, is it okay if I come stop by? It's just I just have to get that approval.
yeah, we actually, there's an Indian burial mound at Forest Home Cemetery. And I have gotten permission to go up on it, but I am very, very respectful and don't go up all the time. And every time I go up, I ask, and I've even had where they're like, "We've already given you permission." It's like, no, I'm gonna ask every time.
Yeah. Yes, because if any time that I put my footsie on it, something happens, I'm at fault.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, very amazing. Ooh, and we are at 6,000 hearts. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Those that have just joined, it is Tuesday Tarot. If you missed the beginning, we actually started our 78 weeks where we are just talking briefly and showing cards. So we did the full today. Next Tuesday, we'll be doing the Magician, but now we are doing one card readings. So if you would like a reading, you can type your question in the chat or you can type general and we will pull a card for you.
Hello, Linda. What are you doing in my
Oh.
swamp? Swamp. Fine. Sorry, that's an inside joke with her.
Nope, all good. I guess like while we wait for if anybody wants a reading, we are live on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are reading on Sundays is Witchy Book Club. We are currently reading The Spiral Dance by Starhawk. This week is chapter 3, so we'll be doing the discussion on chapter 3 on this Sunday. And Thursday is ooh,
La Leona.
that's cool.
Yeah, she's the Five of Cups. And just that.
Yeah. So this Thursday we is spiritual panel. So we have a spiritual panel once a week, and this week's spiritual panel is on gratitude. I was really inspired to do gratitude because I was actually writing and realized we don't talk about gratitude enough. I know it's been on a lot of spiritual panels, but you know what? We don't talk about it enough.
Well, yeah. Isis came out.
Yeah, that one's. I love Isis. Oh, that's the next statue I'm getting. Oh, actually, I was the Conjure Tree in Salt Lake City. Well, it's actually, I think it's in West Valley or Taylorsville, Utah, which is a suburb of Salt Lake. They have the coolest Loki statue. So I'm like, all right, maybe that's. I work with Loki. I do not have a statue of him yet. And I could. I've got crystals for him, but you know when you have to have like that perfect statue for the deity.
Yep. Actually, I think you could even represent Loki with the full card, except a little bit more
Yes,
dark.
you could. Mm-hmm. Well, my parakeet's named after him.
Slip.
And he's my parakeet, but he doesn't like me. He likes my husband. He's my husband's familiar. So I picked out my husband's familiar. And literally. A Bassett statue. Yes, I have a beautiful Sekhmet statue. Very, very beautiful. And I have like hats and cobras like all around her statue. So yeah, she's got.
I think there's actually a Sekhmet temple in Nevada somewhere. I think there is.
Oh.
I don't know exactly where, but I know it's somewhere in Nevada.
Ooh, I'll have to like look that up. Yes, she's one of my deities. Yes. I think we like divulge who our deities are. And those, like while we're like, we don't have any questions, so please feel free if you would like a reading to, yes, they are sisters. Sekhmet and Cassatt. Mm-hmm.
And also, let's see if any of you happen to know. Who is the third sister? Anybody?
That I didn't know there was a third because
Look at the letter H.
Hathor, no.
Yes, correct.
No, Hathor becomes Sekhmet and Sekhmet becomes Hathor. But maybe they are also sisters because it's like.
Oh.
Ooh.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I just got a new book that has a little bit more on Sekhmet, so I'm very excited to jump into that. That's my reading when we're not doing other reading. But those that don't know, please go our next book for Witchy Book Club, granted it's going to be in 11 weeks, will be Bren's new book that he has out on Nix. So if you want to like show your book real fast, Bren, please.
Let's see, I'll show the cover if I can.
I just ordered mine, so I will probably be showing it off quite a bit when it arrives. So, I ordered it Friday.
And I really hope it comes out good because the last few books I did, they've come out so great. But this is like with Nix's book, that is my attempt to do something completely brand new. So that's kind of the cover. Yes, Nix, the primordial goddess with the cosmos sewn in her veil. It is a book that is solely about, well, for one, of course, it goes through giving you all the references of Nix that I could muster and find. Then it shows you how it is working with her underneath her veil and how to best work with, and also build an altar space. And then as well as the correspondences. And you can also see some other like spells, combinations of like herbs, resins, and whatnot. And it finishes all up with also a morning invocational prayer and a ending prayer. So both of these prayers, of course, I wrote them myself, but also the book is littered with a few of quotes that Nick's plopped in my head. Oh yeah,
I love the color scheme. You know, that alone is a seller, meaning it's very attractive, very beautiful. You know, that's a work of art just all alone. You know, I can only imagine what's inside.
And unlike my other books, this is the first book that I did that instead of it being opened up, it's just like, oh, okay, we got like a regular book with white background or like kind of like that kind of tannish color background. No, the whole background is going to be colored. Like the whole paper is going to be colored. This black, purple with a little bit of violet in the middle. It's going to be like exactly how the text is written. So it's going to keep that theme and make it be so colorfully glamorous.
Yeah, I'm excited for mine to come. So yes, if you would like to join us when we do that in 11 weeks, everybody's invited. So it's the next book. You do need to go to Bren's bio, click his bio. It is super easy. It will take you right to actually all of, like you can click whichever books. And actually when you click the next book, you can decide if you want to get all the books Brent's written, which I contemplated. I'm like, I'll get them one at a time.
Yep. And the books that I have there are, of course, the next book. Then there's the book that I did about love, my very first one. Then there's the one about hell. And then the other one was the book that is the Black Moon Lilith in astrology. And that one is 105 pages long. And it gives so much detail for beginners, intermediates, and advanced. So everybody on any level of astrology can pick it up and learn it. And yeah. That one took the longest time. And that one is available in hardback or paperback. So, paperback is slightly cheaper. Hardback is a little costly, but is more durable.
Or if you're like me, when I see hardbacks, I buy a hardback as a collectible and get the paperback to read.
Yeah.
Well, yes. So, I just want to add. So I was looking on the third sister, and what it's saying is there's no mention of a third sister, but there was a triad, which was Ptah, Ptah, which is the consort of a segment, which was considered the third, if you want to consider it the third, because when you're a couple, you become one, and when the other one is not there, that one can represent the other one.
Yeah, thank you for looking, Azrael.
Oh,
Yeah, which would actually make sense because she was very like with her consort. They're very very close. Like you'll see, like deities will get close, but then you see some of the deities that kind of like Poseidon. He kind of likes to float around.
maybe.
Well,
Unintended.
and that makes sense because you know what, as a partner, you can kid around and become part. Let's say, as a female can become a brother with brothers. You know what I'm saying? And a sisters, and yeah, that makes sense. So we are like sisters and we're like brothers. It makes
Yeah.
sense. Wow.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. So if anybody would like a reading, please feel free to put your question in the chat. If not, we will just chat up here. We are doing one card readings for Tuesday Tarot. Or if you have a question about anything, we're pretty open and we just kind of go with the flow here. Like Poseidon.
Yeah. I kind of never really felt. I've never felt. Most of the time, too, I've never really felt like a strong pull to like a god figure in some way, some form. I don't know. It's just like, how come every god that's been in like every single story has done something that was a big oops, like a big one?
Because they're showing that they're human too. They're showing us that it's okay if we make a mistake.
Yes, but it's not okay to make the same repeated mistake. Zeus.
Okay, Young would like a reading. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what you're supposed to get, a general reading. Yeah, you're supposed to get this deck. Yes, we're gonna pull pull a reading for you now.
I'm going to grab a drink real quick, and I'm probably going to need it because, yeah, my throat's getting dry. But, yes, you're going to like this one.
We got you, Young. And Azrael's up here, so you get like a bonus. So. All right, what message does the universe have for young O Rose? Ooh, you're dealing with a lot. You've got a lot going on right now. And I'm going to have to pull a clarification card, but we're going to see what Bren has to say. So I'm feeling that you're probably feeling a little bit drained, like you're missing a lot of energy. You need to replenish yourself. So I'm really getting that, probably meditation, or if you can, go to a natural body of water and just walk in it and dunk yourself in it. That's really what I'm feeling. Like you're just dealing with, like, there's been a lot on your plate. It's okay. You're going to make it through. You're strong enough. You will definitely get through. So I can tell Bren's about ready because he's got, like, we start to give each other little clues.
Lilith.
Ah.
The Siren of Air. Now, the Siren. Well, now, because the way that this deck has it, the core cards, they do not match with the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith.
Yes.
So the Siren, now, what do we think about it when we have a Siren? Now, the Siren. Now, the Siren's a figure.
Got the water here.
All planned.
Yep.
I would have to say the Siren is one who emotes, speaks with the element. So this would be kind of like equivalent to the Knight of Swords. But with it being Lilith, now, as we all know how she is, she's a figure that just knows how to speak in a way where it's like, I better do what she told me to do. She says something, and now my brain, I can't even sit still because I'm like, I hope I didn't make that. I hope I didn't make that. Maybe she meant this. No, maybe she meant that. That's seduction. But this I'm getting is not being afraid to take flight and express how things are that need to be expressed. And you're able to withstand the communication and don't be afraid of it. And use the abilities of communication that you've learned and you know to take that flight that's needed. And even also advocating for yourself too, because Lilith, well, of course, we're going to be technical. Yes, there was that incident with the garden and how she just told, what's his face, oh, you want me to submit to this? You didn't even make it right. You come on, dude. Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm going.
I like to say she's the one that dropped the first F-bomb.
Yep. Oh, you want me to submit to this? What? Really? Really? Nope. F this up. So don't be afraid to use that ability of communication that you have, and to even make music with it, make a song with it, like put it in a way where it feels like you're singing it into being. Because siren, yeah. And air is the element that is associated with the voice. So.
Azrael, anything to add?
My dog's ear stinks, but she's in my face. Yeah, I agree with Brent, and basically, young O, I think that you had a missed opportunity where you knew that you were seeking a specific um confirmation, and just like Brent just stated, you need to confront yourself and not be mad with yourself, but allow yourself to reclaim that power, so that way you're able to utilize that voice, utilize your expression through, like Brent said, through some music or writing down a poem, or just maybe doing a video here on TikTok and express yourself. So don't be mad at that opportunity that came and would have made you happy because you were looking for some type of confirmation, but embrace yourself by confronting yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. Look at the positive of it. You missed it, but you know what? You're still here and you have another opportunity, and that opportunity is to let go of that anger and express yourself in that way.
Oh, and your in-laws have been a little controlling. That's exactly why we got this, because they've been, yeah.
And I mean, the thing is with Lilith, she doesn't have in-laws. When she had that with Adam, she didn't have an in-law. Like, I'm not going to listen to you, even though technically that would be a weird in-law. But nope, like, nope, I'm not listening to you.
Yeah.
Not one bit. You can take care of your mistake instead.
And see, like with this, like that's where I knew like something heavy was going on. Don't let the mother-in-law cause that pain. Let your inner Lilith out. Again, Lilith was the first one to drop the F-bomb.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Now this is going to sound really a bit insensitive. Like, say for an example, if something's not going right, and to say, for example, she's hissy fitting because it's not meeting her standards. This is exactly what I would say. Dear, please, you have your own husband to worry about. Worry about your love. Worry about yours. Don't worry about mine.
And that happens a lot, especially here on TikTok, where a lot of people are having personal issues and they actually pass it on to somebody else, but not to pass it on. They want to see how you respond. So I think she's expecting a response from you in order for her to use it as her cheat code to deal with her own issues. So act on working on yourself, and don't let that intimidate you or even break you. And I think that's that emotion. You wanted peace and she didn't give you peace, and with that you feel angry. But don't fight it, face yourself and allow yourself to express it in the most positive way, because you are leading by example. Whether people admit it or not, sometimes they look up to you, and because you're younger than her, she is not going to voice it and say, oh, you're younger than me and I want to listen to you. So she wants to observe it from you.
Yes. And one little trick you might like is, if you know her date of birth and you know the time and place, pull her astrological chart and see where her Mars is and where her Mercury is. Mars is how she's going to fight with you, and Mercury is how to communicate. So if you know how she fights, you'll know how to counteract her treatment. And then when you get how she communicates, you can then alter how you communicate in order to get through to her. I pull everybody close to me, family-wise and best friend-wise. And so I understand that. It's like I've had to sometimes sit and say, you communicate like this, I communicate like that. Let's try to meet in the middle. I've literally had those conversations. Now, some people you can't say that to, because some people, like when you see where their Mars and their Mercury is, and you see the Mars and you're having an issue with them, then it's like, okay, this is how they communicate. I kind of have to go a little bit more towards them. It might be out of my comfort zone, but sometimes it's like the only way to get them to understand. And then it shocks them, because it's like, whoa, how'd they figure that out? It's because we are spiritually intelligent. So we all know a little bit more. There's no external problems, but energetically, she's like copying my energy. Like, what happens to me? Oh, like she wants attention.
Notice me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are hard. Not impossible to deal with, but yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I think we all have had that in our lives before. Yeah. Make everything good that happens to you, then she won't have, find the diamond in the rough. The other day my finger got burnt. That same morning her arm got burnt. Yes, so she's one up in ya. Yeah, yes, I totally understand those people. Shift your luck. So when you burn your finger, what's the positive to the burning of your finger? I know, like, it's really, sometimes it's like, okay, I burned my finger, but if you were cooking and the food turned out really good, but it was worth the food that turned out good.
Or even better yet, it's just like, well, whoa, I'm so thankful that my finger got burned and not my whole hand.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good one, Bryn. Oh, I've had sage pop before. I haven't burned myself on it. Now I did burn myself with cinnamon essential oil though. And that actually, I think I would have rather burned myself with like a candle or something. So yes, I actually, now when I work with like pepper or cinnamon essential oil, I always put gloves on. I'd never, I'd worked with it for like 30 plus years and spilled enough that literally it gave me almost a 2nd degree burn. My husband was like, what did you do? And I'm like, it was essential oil. And he's like, what's wrong with your essential oil? So yes,
They say not to to have it raw, especially like when you're bathing too. I don't know if you use it in the bath, if it gets on your back end, it burns.
Yeah, you would. No, I was in the middle of mixing. I was mixing a mixture. So I was putting it, I was holding, because I will have like the little jars. Do I have one close by? So I was taking it from like a jar this size and putting it in some, like a roll-on. And it was like cinnamon with some other stuff. And when I went like this, it just dripped on my thumb and I burned my thumb. And so like now, because like some of the oils you don't get a reaction to, but the cinnamon you will definitely. And so I wasn't even going to dare it with the black pepper. I'm like, you know what? If it says pepper or it's a hot one, I'm just putting gloves on from now on. But yes, you should always put your essential oils with a carrier oil. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those tea tree, peppermints, any type of mint, the cinnamon, because like the cedar wood doesn't burn. I don't think lavender burns either, but the
Well,
eucalyptus, those.
yeah,
Go ahead.
lavender and tea tree don't, but some people will have a reaction to the tea tree. So yeah, you wanna double check. I mean, like when I started using essential oils, I was young and I did not use a carrier oil, so I'm surprised I didn't have more problems. Knowing what I know now and thinking, when we're young and when I say young, I was about 13, so I was quite young. But yes, Azrael, you do need to mix it with a carrier oil, definitely. But yeah, peppermint and eucalyptus can make you feel all tingly, a little too tingly sometimes. Yeah,
Because like, I mix them as well, like like where you make the candles and also the soaps and stuff.
yeah,
But I also like to use them for bathing and relaxing. So I mix, I mix all type of them, and some of them, depending on what they are, you have to make sure if you are bathing in it, you have to rinse out good because in the sun, you will get a reaction in the sun as well.
yeah, you
So
can't. Yeah, you can burn a little bit from them. Yeah. Yeah, and don't do a lot. Like I made a mixture one time. My daughter, like, she's always like, "Oh, make me more bath salts," and I put a little bit too much bergamot, and she was like, "There was too much bergamot," and I'm like, "Okay, you got to just add some Epsom salt to it," and she did so to kind of like go out. So it is really great. Like if you add it, like I'll mix it with a carrier oil and then add it to. I use Himalayan rock salt and Epsom salt in my bath salts, but that's usually how I use them in the bath. Sometimes the bath bombs, but yes, you got to be careful with the essential oils. Very, very careful. Thank you everybody for coming. We are still doing tarot readings, so if you do want a reading, please feel free to type general or a question. Let's see. Yeah, thanks guys for the confirmation. I'm staying focused on me. The only reason an issue because it was distracting. Yes. Yes. And you know what, Young? It is distracting and it can affect your energy. So and your energy and your feelings are valid, and protect yourself, set your boundaries. And I sympathize. I actually had a relative who literally anytime somebody got married, she would get married to someone else. Anytime someone got pregnant, she'd get pregnant. Like she
Oh my
didn't, she
good
wanted
lord!
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Really? That's
Literally.
serious ways of thinking.
She was 20 years older than me.
Oh my goodness!
When I was pregnant with my first child, I got married, so then she eloped. And I wasn't the first person she did this to. So then she threw a tissy fit when they were throwing a bridal shower for me because she wanted one, and everybody's like, "You've been married a lot." It was like, what?
Okay.
And then when I announced I was pregnant, she immediately got pregnant. So I have a cousin who's 3 months younger than my oldest child. So, and he's like the baby actually of the cousins, first cousins. So,
I mean, I wouldn't be able to hold myself back. I would just ask, okay, if you want to have a private party or whatever, you must name every single husband by name and why the divorce happened.
well, and it was funny because like my cousin, she didn't get pregnant when my cousin got pregnant, but when my cousin got married, she got married again because the other husband that she got married to when I got married was gone. So, I mean,
well, that's a different turn of events.
yeah, well, and it was funny because she did it like when her siblings and when some of her cousins, and so it was really interesting. But yes, so Young, I completely understand. And at least it's just a finger and an arm getting burned. I don't know. I don't know if that's like any consolation. But yes, we do like, and unfortunately, a lot of times when people are seeking attention that way, there's not really like, there's not much you can do, that's just their personality and that's how they're always going to be. Unless they get enlightened and decide to change. And go ahead, Bryn.
She must have had a Jupiter in Capricorn, because that is so Jupiter Capricorn. Notice me! Look at me! I am a guru! What?
My aunt or Young's mother-in-law. Or both of them. Yeah, she could have. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what time she was born, and I might remember her date of birth, but all good. So, all right. Please feel free if you have any questions, any burning questions that you want asked. We are pulling tarot or oracle cards tonight. And you'll get your intuitive readings from us. So you can type general, or if you have a specific question, feel free to type your specific question. And we're just here. And we will be here on Thursday and Sunday also, and we're here every Tuesday. Next week we will do a little segment. I think we were about 30 minutes or maybe a little more on the full card. So next week we'll be doing the Magician card before we jump in and do readings. Yes. And thank you so much, everybody, for the gifts. Always appreciated, never expected. And thank you so much for all of the hearts. We're almost at 8,000 hearts. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. And this is just a great panel that we have up here. And everybody in the chat, you guys are all so wonderful. I'm so glad that we have a spiritual safe place for us to come and grow with each other. Always, always great. Oh, look at that. We hit 8,000. Thank you. I see Tina in there helping. Thank you. So, Azriel, are you still so busy, no lives for a while?
Oh yeah, like I just settling down now. I ate not so long ago, like so it's a lot of going on. Especially when the hot days kick in and the way the weather's been here. It's been a lot of cool weather and everything's been moist, so that means a lot of ants and all the bugs are coming out, roly polies and what do you call those guys? The earwigs. So it's a lot of stuff out there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and besides, we got so many, bright individuals here. So many people to share so much wisdom and knowledge, especially what you're doing here, Rowan. Along with Bren, and taking 52 weeks, and you guys gonna go through each card, and starting with that the Fool's card that you were talking about. When we do these lives, part of these lives is becoming that full, because we're risk taking. We're taking that step initially and being who we are, and when we step outside that comfort zone, as you are, this is what makes these lives great. It's I'm looking at you for my device, but yet it's like a tarot card, and most of it is being spoken versus me try to guess. So no, I'm not doing any lives right now. Maybe sometime in the future, but I like doing this. I like to be part, with somebody, like co-hosting or even being up in a panel. It makes me part of the group versus pressuring myself to host a live, because it takes a lot of work. For those that host, I think Young O has done it. Tina has done it down there as well. Bren, and yourself, it is a lot, because we're risk taking. We got trolls out here, and remember you're talking about trolls 2 weeks ago on a Thursday night. So you have to deal with stuff like that. And it's funny I said risk taking, because risk taking is part of that fool. People look at it and assume the fool is somebody that's an idiot, but no. We have to be the fool, meaning we have to have faith and use no judgment on our journey, and that journey is the journey of the unknown, and that's part of us when we wake up in the morning, from a night's rest. We don't know what the day got to bring. All we know is the sun is rising, and you have a new opportunity, and that new opportunity is that start of the journey. So I'm glad that you're starting out with the full. I missed down on it, and I'm going to try to next week to be here for the next card. But for those that are new to tarot and really eager, Rowan is definitely a person that I will highly recommend. I am one of her students as far as the tarot. So I know her for a very long time personally. She's my friend from here in this area. But when we are confined to our home or we don't know what to do, that's when we can actually be that fool. We walk out that door, and that's what I'm saying. So that fool card is I guess the number one card. As it is the number one card, it really represents our journey as the individual. And that is the same reason why others will come to you for a reading, because you know what, you want a new life, you want a new start, you're questioning your relationship, maybe it's over, and the reader will can actually give you some advice, and so don't feel like a fool. Embrace it, because there's so much in it. It's I love it. I love it.
Yep. Thank you, Azrael. As always, thank you, thank you. Yes, Azrael and I go way back because we are here in the same area. So, and yes, Azrael did take my tarot classes from me. So, which they do start up in July. So, if anybody is interested, it's on my website. So, if you go to my bio link, you can go to my website or you can go to Eventbrite. So, and Bren also teaches too. So if you're like, oh, I want to take from Bren, if you want to take from me, we'd love to teach you. So, reach out to either of us. So we're around. And we both all do readings too. So that's also like, please feel free if you want a reading because we are available.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're
One
fine.
thing I like, one thing I love about Bren and his teaching is that his cards are personalized. So he has personalized cards, and he can actually show you the cards and also give you the interpretations. So that way you're able to utilize your visions a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives you that interpretation becomes more authentic, in the aspects of how he created them, his point of view of it, and it gives you different aspects. It definitely does. And that's something that kind of scares me. It scares me because I gotta relearn. I don't want to relearn.
It's
Yes.
there. It's just you have to find it. It's in your vault. And actually, Bren did show his card, his Fool's card tonight. So I'm sure he's going to show his Magician next week. And if you did love his cards, like I do, again, it's in his bio link, so you can click there. And the book after we do Spiral Dance will be his next book. So if you weren't here when we talked about that, so Sundays we do Witchy Book Club. Thursday at 9:30 p.m. It will be open panel. So, I limit on Tuesday. It's Bren, me, and Azrael on Tuesdays, but on Thursday it will be open panel. So if you want to jump up while we talk about gratitude, we will just take turns and talk about gratitude. And thank you. You're right, Tina. We did hit 10K. Thank you, everybody. Love all those hearts. That helps so much. I really, really appreciate it. And again, thank you everybody for the gifts. Like so many beautiful, kind people here. So thank you so much for the gifts for myself and for Bren and Azrael. We really do appreciate it. So yes, we're
What
very
was,
excited to share our journeys with you. Go ahead, Azrael.
what was the name of the book next? The Predomio Goddess. What was it called again?
Well, right now we're reading The Spiral Dance by Starhawk, and then Bren's book will be next, and that's Nyx, the goddess Nyx. And you can get that out off Bren's bio. There we go. There's his cover. I mean, the cover itself is, I know we're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but really, would you not want that book? Sorry.
I did all the writing, all the artwork. I did the whole thing on my own. All the
Yes.
books, everything I've done, all by myself. Nobody else helping me.
Yeah, Brent is extremely talented. So, just such a blessing to have him in our spiritual community. So yes,
We get a how do we get a copy? I mean, a signed version of it. Do we
Signed
purchase
version?
and
Well,
we
well,
mail it? We mail it to you. How does that work?
I have no idea. I mean, if you were to get a signed one, I would have to buy the book myself and then send it that way because it's pretty much through a print on demand thing.
Okay, I think that's you know what, that is very doable because you know what, I think you could set it up where people can actually DM you and we could pay you in advance and then you have the book, and then from there then you know it includes you know us paying for the shipping and all that stuff. So yeah, cause that is a beautiful, you know, I love that picture there. You know,
I mean,
I'm trying to.
I also crap, I have to actually upload to that, but I also like some of the artwork that I've done in my other books and like in general. I mean, I can also have some of them printed out, like the original, like how the original piece looked without the writing on it. Yeah, let me see if I can get it. Hold on, let me grab it.
ooh, see, that would be really cool. Like, Laura Tempest Suroff, she does like some of her books. She has her artwork in it, but she does sell the artwork separate too.
They call that lithographs. You know, you get like
Yes.
20, you know, one of 20 or 100, one of 100. You know, they're lithographs, and yeah, you know, that is, you know, and then you can get it different sizes. But I love that artwork. You know, her wearing that hood there. Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yes.
There's going to see now you do that, Bren. There's going to be altars all around the world that are going to want to have that beautiful picture. You didn't know what you were starting. I think he's trying to grab the picture itself without, but yes, it is really gorgeous. So yes, just as a reminder, live on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If that helps for wherever you are in the world. So
I don't have it on this phone. It's on my computer. But anyway, I do have other artworks that are good. So hold on, let me do this. This image is in the book.
ooh, that one's cool too.
Yep, and I did that one too. And there's also this one. That one's, well, you can't really see that one that well, but unless if you blow me up and maybe like whichever screen.
Yeah, let me see if I can blow you up. Did that work? Oh, there we go. I think I got it. There we go.
Yep.
There we go. That's what we needed.
That
That
one's
is
in there.
really beautiful.
And let me just show the other one that was already there again.
This one reminds me of esoteric, you know, like a
Yes.
spiritual, like spiritual alchemy, and the other one is it's actually showing the celestial, like the moon and the sky. So beautiful, you know. This is some beautiful artwork.
Oh, yep. And now this one is on the title page, the first page when you open the book.
Ooh. Ooh, I'm excited. And like I have to be like impatient for my book to come. They do print on demand, so it's not like Amazon where you get it like right away, but you can patiently wait.
Yeah, I mean this one, and I really like how I decided to go, up against the grain because the way that I would like to perceive Nyx, I like to perceive her as being blind. Because since she's the first mother and everything yielded from her, she's blind, covered in, like, not being able to see because of the darkness, because she's able to love everything that comes from her and beyond her unconditionally without any attachment. And that's the first mother. That's how. Yeah,
And
that's
no
something.
judgment, and no
Yeah.
judgment, you know, no judgment.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, this will be exciting. So in 11 weeks, we will be discussing Bren's book. So you have 11 weeks to order your book. Granted, you don't want to like wait till the last minute because it is print on demand, like Bren was saying. So you'd probably want to at least get it before 9 weeks out to make sure you have it. So yes, but this is very exciting. Very, very exciting. All right. Anybody else want a reading tonight before we close down for the evening? If you'd like a reading, you can type general or you can type a specific question in there in the chat down below, and we will pull cards for you. So, and Thursday we are talking about gratitude, and it is an open spiritual panel. So, you can feel free to come up and talk about gratitude and how it's impacted your life. I'll have questions and stuff. So, it'll be a fun panel. I was just really inspired when I was writing the other night that I'm like, yep, we're supposed to talk about gratitude. So gratitude it will be.
You know what? The more that I look at these pictures that Brent did, his images interpretations are a lot more authentic than the actual ones the actual ones of Nick's. The other ones that are out there.
Yeah, because I mean, the way that I portrayed her, and even also this is another one of my artworks. Hold on, let me get it up there. Let me find it. Where the heck did it go? Oh, there it is. This is another one that I did. You might have to blow me up a little bit in order to see it.
Oops, hang on, now I have to figure out how I did it. Oh, there we go. We did it. Or I think Asriel helped me.
Yep. This, you might be thinking, but this is like a model. Like, this is like a real person. Nope. This was a pain in the tushy. Ugh.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yep, and this is supposed to be Lilith. The vitality of woman. That's what it was called.
Yeah, and with the hands on the hip, I was going to say that one, it reminded me more of Lilith than...
Yeah, but she's just like, oh, look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you could just tell the look on her face. She's just like,
what did you say to me, Adam?
At you, and I'm so disgusted.
Yes, again. And I mean, in a way, the more I look at it, it looks like she's actually like her eyes are just looking more over, just like,
like this is what I have to be with.
Seriously, of all the things you could have made, it had to be this, really? Nope.
Yeah, it is actually pretty.
So what is Lilith's sign? What is she, a Capricorn, Gemini? What is she?
Currently in the transit right now, she's currently in the sign of Scorpio, which is where she co-rules with Pluto, Mars, and the South Node, K2. So right now she's comfy, but if we're going to be looking at, technically, she would be most likely be assigned in Scorpio, because Scorpio is that sign that is about the occult, dark, mysterious, vengefulness, spitefulness, and
sensuality.
Yep, and I mean, Scorpio is also that sign that is all really about, how to best put it? Well, Scorpio is also the taking of life. Like, okay, we're gonna play whack-a-mole with this one. Put a whack-a-mole on that one. Okay, he's gone. That's Scorpio, because that Scorpio does have that dominion over that. But Scorpio is also going to the depths of something, reaching in and going in deep. Lilith wants this. Oh, my authenticity? Yeah, I'm going to reach all the way in for that, and I'm going to get that somehow, some way. You get in the way, move your hand. Yep, that is Lilith in a nutshell. But spiteful and vengeful? Yep. That is also Lilith. Well, I mean, look what happened with Adam. He wandered off, and he just disappeared and kicked the bucket. Totally, Lilith was not involved in that. Totally not. Wink, wink.
Yep, gotta love Lilith.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing, what I love about her too, is that how she is with each individual person is never the same. She's always going to be different.
Yes, that is 100%. I even I was talking with a witch, and he was telling me he really wanted to work with Lilith, but Lilith wanted nothing to do with him. And I'm like, yeah, that's, you never know what to expect with her. You really don't. So
yeah, and I mean, with Lilith, I mean, I would even say this: the best way to get her approval is by being so authentic with yourself and advocating for yourself that she'll just come over naturally by her own choice. And that is pivotal. If you're wanting to bring her towards you, invitation and inviting her and allowing her to make the choice, that is the number one best way to not only be considerate, but also gain her respect for that. If you're being so strict in making sure she has her say into it, because before she was being pushed to do something, giving her that voice, that little thing means a lot. That small little word choice of how you're bringing her in, it means something.
Yeah, it does. And you also have to realize she's one of the very ancient goddesses. We have a lot of goddesses that, not that they're newer, but like when we think about it, like when we think about the Morgan, we know that she actually did live and was ascended to a deity. So she is a younger goddess because she did actually have a physical body. So, but when we're looking at like Lilith and like Sekhmet and Nyx, like these are ancient mother goddesses. So when we're working with the ancient goddesses, they have a lot of knowledge and wisdom and power and energy. And we will be talking about goddesses on Sunday because that's what spiral dance is. It's connected with working with the goddess.
Everything comes from love. What is love? Oh, that's so stuck in my head.
Love is love. I know. I'm going to have to watch 16 Candles now. I don't know when, but like this weekend, because I know that song is Ducky. I know it's Ducky singing it. Oh, it's when he's got the hairbrush and he's in.
Yep.
Yes. And everybody who's joined, you're welcome for the earworm. You're very welcome because we're all going to be stuck singing it. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up for the night. Bren, anything else you want to add tonight and your goodbye? And please feel free to share how to follow you and everything.
Well, if you want any of my books, any of my stuff, just go into the link tree and take your pick. But really, other than that, so long, farewell. I forgot the rest of the lyrics to this song, so toodaloo.
Always enjoy having you, Bren, and working with you. It's fabulous. All right, Azriel, your turn.
You know, as I stated, I'm not gonna be doing any lives anytime soon. Not that I'm gatekeeping or anything, but you know what? You know, there's so much going on right now in my life that I have to stick to my priorities. But it doesn't mean that I won't, drop by and say hello to everybody. So I don't know no songs to sing, but I'm the fiddler on the roof, or the fiddler of the bill. I'm the fiddler of the bill. You guys, either one, they both work, right? Fiddler on the roof and fiddler on the bill.
Yeah, they both work.
You guys have a great night.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Young. We really appreciate that. I know I'm going to have to come up with a song. Love, what is love? I'll grab a hairbrush for next time. Because that song is stuck in my head. So yes, Pretty in Pink. Great movie. John Hughes was amazing, especially for those of us that grew up with all his amazing films. But granted, that has, well, I guess we could break apart the spiritual aspects of all of those films, but we won't tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for Tuesday Tarot. Next week, we will be doing the Magician card at the beginning, and then we will pull one card reading. So, if something happens next week, feel free to have a question or type general for next week, and we will be going over the Magician card. So thank you so much to everybody on panel. Thank you everybody for the gifts, for all of us. Much appreciated, never expected. And thank you so much for all the hearts. We hit 10K today, so thank you so much. I really appreciate that. As always, merry meet, merry part, bright blessings, and namaste.